Yo, we live. I'm hiding behind the screen right now, but we'll see who's here. I think the Pebble is the Pebble is back. 2 streams in a row for the Pebble. Was that 3? No, 2. It's Wednesday. It'll be 2 streams in a row. What up, the Pebble? How you doing? My guy? Lovey Marie. I guess I can come from behind the screen now. Let's get it. Let's go. All right. We're back. We are back. We are better than ever. The Pebble, Lovey Marie, hit the like when you come in. We're talking training camp, stream 3 of the week. How are we doing on a great Wednesday, August the 5th, 2026? You've got to be happy. Got time today. They're giving Watson the job because he's a veteran. Maybe so. I always said they're giving Watson the job because of the money, the cash, the dollar bill, y'all. I think that's why he's going to get it. But we're going to talk about all that stuff today. When we should see a starter named, according to Todd Monken himself, via the NFL Network. We're going to talk about all that. Before we do, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. Speaking of Deshaun Watson, he had his best day in camp, ladies and gentlemen. 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 17 of 20 from the field. Good Lord Almighty. Now, when I seen that, I said, what is going on? I said, is he back? Was he unleashed on the masses? Is Houston Deshaun Watson back? But then I dove deeper into the stats. Now, I'm not taking anything away from him, but all of his TDs were in 7 for 7 period in the short red zone snaps from the 10, the 5, and the 2-yard line. So, yes, he had 7 touchdowns, 17 for 20, but they were all from the 10 and in. So, hey, it is 7 touchdowns and no interception, so I'm not going to take away from that. And they weren't wearing pads either. I have always said this about Deshaun Watson, and you guys can quote me on this, and I'm not lying. I think he is the best player with shorts and a jersey. I have never seen a player better with shorts and a jersey. I will give that to Deshaun Watson. Hands down, the best shorts and jersey player I have ever seen in my life. And he showed it today. 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That is something, listen, it's not to be sneezed at. Now, if he had 0 touchdowns and 7 interceptions from the 10 in, we would be going off and we would say he is the sorriest quarterback ever. So we got to give him credit, right? We got to give him credit for that. We do. But we got to calm down once we look at what really happened. I'm not impressed by one day. Browns just being the Browns. We should ride if DW4 gets the job. Hasn't will never changed. Laugh out loud. He ate his Wheaties. This was to make him feel better from the booze yesterday. Facts, Gotti. How you doing, Cheryl? Listen, so we can take it, and you gotta listen. You have to feel good about when your quarterbacks play good, no matter who you're rooting for. If you're in the Deshaun Watson camp, if you're in the Shedeur Sanders camp, if you're in the Dylan Gabriel camp, if you're in the draft 2027 quarterback camp, well, if you're in that camp, then you want nobody to do good. You want to sit in your couch for 17 games and just be angry and look at a one-legged raccoon. That's just what you're going to do for all the games. Dude played well in scenarios the Browns offense is never in. How you doing, Myron Bell? Dog check for you, my good friend.
Dog check! Dog check!
But the only thing that I don't like about it, why were they not in pads? I want pads Deshaun Watson to show up. I don't want no pads Deshaun Watson to show up when it's 7 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. I need him to do this when pads are on, Mike. I need this with pads. I don't need it with no pads, okay? But they said he looked good outside the 22. I did see some throws. He had a nice throw to Jerry Jeudy. I seen a throw to Denzel Boston, who we're going to talk about a little bit later on. If you've seen the ticker on your screen, I seen the most zip that I've seen from Deshaun Watson since he's been in Cleveland. He was throwing with anticipation from the videos that I seen. So this is positive when it's talking about Deshaun Watson. I am not here to poo-poo on anything. 7 touchdowns is 7 touchdowns, no matter how you want to slice it, no matter how you want to dice it. This was the best performance he has had all camp, and he was able to get confidence. Now, you hope that he stacks on this confidence. You hope that he stacks on this performance, and when the pads come on, and when the defensive rush comes on, he is able to look the same. This is what you want if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. You want your players to play good. What I don't understand is when you're rooting for your players to be bad. I don't understand that. Hold on, my air is coming on and I can hear it. 1 second. Sorry about that. What up, Scott from Florida? I can't have the air and all that stuff. You know, it just makes for badness for me. You know, so that's what I want. I don't understand you rooting for your players to do bad. I will never do that. But as far as Deshaun Watson goes, listen, best day today. He was the best quarterback on the field. Shedeur Sanders today, he was up and down. He did have an interception today. It was tipped and it was picked off. I am not going to be a hypocrite. If I counted the interception for Deshaun Watson when it bounced off the tight end's hands, I'm going to count it for Shedeur Sanders when it's tipped in the air, okay? I am going to be fair. I am a fair person. Shedeur Sanders today was 11 of 16, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So it's not like Shedeur Sanders had a terrible day. That's still pretty good. 11 of 16, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 5 incompletions for Shedeur Sanders. When it comes to Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson, you have to look at consistency. That's what I'm looking at. Deshaun Watson has had more bad days than good, and Shedeur Sanders has had more good days than bad. But for the people that don't like Shedeur Sanders, they are running laps. They are outside right now. They are picking up pebbles, rocks, grass, seaweed, and they're rolling in it. They are ecstatic because Deshaun Watson had the better day today. Typical Cleveland media waiting for someone to fall off. Facts. What up, B Skrills? I'm over that dude. What up, Mike? Bro, I don't care. It's like when he played last, 1 good game, 5 bad games. You're telling the truth. Listen, you're not telling lies. I only can report what happened. Shedeur's been consistent. Let's do a RB swap strategy for QBs this season. Shedeur drives us into the red zone, and we sub the W for the TD. Yes, good day for Shedeur Sanders. I'm Watson, had a good practice. I still believe Shedeur Sanders should be number 1 QB. I'm glad Watson had a good practice. I am too. Listen, as much as I don't want Deshaun Watson to start, I have said that. I am an honest person. But I'm not going to root for him to do bad. I'm just rooting for Shedeur Sanders to outplay him. Because I want Shedeur Sanders just to be like, hey, I'm that dude. You cannot bench me. That's what I want to happen. Hit the like when you come in. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up. It will be greatly appreciated. Shedeur closed out practice. He had another great throw. I think it was to Gage again. Got time today. I think it was to Gage. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But I think it was to Gage again. Another big time throw. Listen, when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, and we're about to move on to the next topic here. When it comes to Shedeur Sanders, he's just more consistent when throwing the football. And I'm going to parlay into my next subject. And it comes to being a quarterback named as the starter. And we found out today from Todd Monken himself that we're not going to know until preseason game number 3 who our starting quarterback is, because, you know, he was on the NFL Network and he said Deshaun Watson is going to start a preseason game. Shedeur Sanders is going to start a preseason game. And then whoever starts preseason game number 3 is going to be the starter. Now, I have the stats on your screen. You can see overall, after the 7 touchdown game from Deshaun Watson, if you just came in, those touchdowns, I'm not trying to take away anything from anybody, but those touchdowns were from inside the 10-yard line, but they are touchdowns. You can see the overall stats from the 2 quarterbacks, and Shedeur Sanders is still playing better. He has been more consistent. You can see the completion percentage. That's what you want to pay attention to, the consistency. The 8 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, to the 10 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. So overall, Shedeur is still playing better. But what this tells me is Todd Monken still doesn't know who he wants to be quarterback, or what it tells me is Todd Monken wants to see what do you look like in your pads against the other opposing defense before I go out and I tell the world who my quarterback is. Now, you can look at this good or you can look at this bad. You have an offensive line that supposedly is struggling really, really bad right now. And your offensive line need to know who your quarterback's going to be sooner rather than later. So the longer that we prolong this, the longer that our offensive line gets to know your quarterback's cadence, the longer that your offensive line gets to gel together with that quarterback. So the longer we push this off is the longer that that quarterback is going to gel with his offense and get all the first team reps. Because at the beginning, he said he wanted to name his quarterback in training camp, and now it's been pushed back to at least the 3rd game in the preseason. So let me know, how do you feel about this? What Todd Monken said on the NFL Network. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Or are you like, I'm just going to roll with the punches and see what my team does? Now let me get back to the comment section because I talked a lot there. Let's see. Shedeur closed out practice. Yes, sir. So that was the right guy. Good. I still didn't see 7 TDs from him in the red zone. I didn't see him either, Craig. I think I've seen 1 touchdown he threw to Denzel Boston, Craig Tatum. I did see 1 touchdown to Denzel Boston, I believe. But I didn't see, all of the touchdowns in the red zone. QB1 closing out all the practices. I've looked at mostly every clip and can't find 7 TDs. I didn't see him either. Now, once again, I'm not saying that I have all of the resources, but I did see the one where he threw it to Denzel Boston in the corner of the end zone. It was a very good throw, but that's the only one I could find, Craig. But I don't have all the resources in the world because, Craig, I'm not one of those big time, the big time media people in Cleveland where I get all of the information. But I couldn't find anything either. But that's what the tracker said. And Tony Grossi, listen, you know what? That is one person I can't stand. If I wish I was popular enough that I could go and just go on the radio and just have a one-on-one debate session with him. His hatred for Shedeur Sanders makes me want to throw a banana at a keyboard. Okay? I can't stand it. Oh, he said Deshaun Watson's name today. Deshaun Watson has a big day. But when Shedeur Sanders has a good one, he just talks about everything else. He talks about rainbows, keyboards, koala bears, and chicken wings. But he doesn't say anything about Shedeur Sanders. I can't stand that man to the highest power. But we're going to understand the quarterback situation in the preseason. But I do believe Deshaun Watson is going to be the one playing preseason game number 1. He's going to be the starter against the Chicago Bears. Because the way that it's stacking up, Deshaun Watson is going to get the first crack to show what he can do when it matters the most. That's what I think is going to happen. Against the Chicago Bears, let me look at the schedule so I can get the exact date for you because I don't want to be a liar. I want to lie for you, not lie to you. Against the Chicago Bears, what day is that? I said Cleveland Browns schedule. I clicked schedule. Come on. Saturday, August the 15th, I believe that's going to be Deshaun Watson's game. And then I believe against the Buffalo Bills at home will be Shedeur Sanders' game. And then August the 27th, Thursday night at 8 p.m., is going to be the game that is decided who is our starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And I will be crossing my fingers that it's Shedeur Sanders. You like that one? Got time today? I got issues, man. I got issues, all right? Tony G is a joke. I don't rock with him either. He is a joke. Listen, I will take 30% less of what he makes to take his job, and I guarantee you, within a month, the morale of the Cleveland media will be better. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. So, what do you guys think? Do you like Monken's plan or do you not like Monken's plan? Hit the like button when you come in. Like, share, subscribe, turn on all your notifications. And I'm going to put a poll just for Lovey Marie. Do you like Todd Monken's QB1 plan? There it is. Poll started. Go ahead and vote yes or no. Do you like his QB1 plan to wait till preseason 3? Yes or no? I don't understand why Cleveland media hates Shedeur. I heard Tony Grossi got caught. Wow. Baiting. He was baiting Masters at the store. Okay. DW looks better in shorts with no pads. Didn't look too rushed in the red zone throwing those TDs. Listen, yes, he did. And I am not going to take anything away. Let's go back to Deshaun Watson here. Let me go back to Deshaun Watson. I'm not going to take anything from Deshaun Watson at all. I'm not going to, how you doing, AAA? I'm not going to take anything away from Deshaun Watson. 7 touchdowns is 7 touchdowns. If he was inside the red zone and he didn't do this, we would be frying him. We would be flaming him. We would be saying he is the worst absolute quarterback in the entire history of the NFL. So I'm not going to flame him. I'm going to say I'm glad he threw 7 touchdowns. But I wish it was in pads. And I also wish that half of our defensive line wasn't playing as well. Those are some of the things that I wish didn't occur with the 7 touchdown game for Deshaun Watson. Game. Look at me saying game. I'm so ready for football. The 7 touchdown training camp. But I am going to give him his props today. He bounced back from a bad game. I keep saying game. It's not a game. He bounced back from a horrific practice, training camp practice. He looked the best that he did today. And he played well. I will give credit where credit is due. Deshaun Watson played well today. 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. And, he closed the gap a little bit. I said yesterday there was a gap that Shedeur Sanders, and to me, he took the lead. Shedeur Sanders took the lead, and he was running away with it. I said he ran away, and I don't want to hear anything else. Well, he came back today, and he said, wait a minute. So I'm going to give him his credit. I will give him his credit. But now what I want to see is I want to see him do it in pads. That's my only thing. I want to see him do it in pads. But I still believe that Shedeur Sanders overall has played better in camp. The stats show it. The overall stats show it. The consistency for Shedeur Sanders is there. But I am not a hater. I am a true down-the-line person, and I will give Deshaun Watson credit for today. Deshaun's garbage. We back. Not really. He must have went and got, oh, come on, AAA. Come on. So 2022. Dude had 10 seconds, no pass rush. WTF. He's going on as someone that played football. This makes me sick to my stomach. I'm gone. He can't do it in pads. That's what we want to see. Can he do it in pads? And we're going to see it, chat. This is what the preseason's for. This is what it's for. They're going to be in pads going against the opposing defense. And I have said it. And I just said it about, 10 minutes ago. And I will always say it. Deshaun Watson is the greatest of all time in shorts and a helmet football player I have ever seen. He will go to camp and he will look like the greatest you have ever seen. And he will get your hopes up. So I'm not getting my hopes up, but what I am doing and I'm acknowledging he had a good day. Because if I acknowledge when you do trash, I can acknowledge when you do good. That's just the fairness that I am. But he is the absolute greatest in shorts and a helmet. And I will stand by that. It's been long enough. DW also benefited off a couple of throws that would have been sacks but wasn't in pads. Looks like Deshaun had a day today. We'll come back to the quarterbacks here in a little bit, but I do want to give credit to one rookie that I tried to go the other way, but listen, this dude right here, everybody on Twitter is talking about him, and I got to give AB credit. Even though I will never forgive him for cutting my guy, for just getting rid of him and having no soul, the soulless business that is sports. But the draft of Denzel Boston, I will tell you this. Everybody is talking about him. He is the standout at camp. This is the receiver the Browns have been looking for. They're already trying to compare him to Mike Evans. Todd Monken's trying to calm that down a little bit. Calm down so far. But he is making plays. Everybody's saying buy your stock in Denzel Boston. If you haven't bought it, buy it now. They are ranting and raving about Denzel Boston. Whoever is QB1, whoever wins the starting job, they have got them a young stud to line out wide. Line up wide and go get that football. I got to give credit to AB. As much as I hate him for what he did to my guy Nicholas Jamal, run over your soul Chubb, I have to give him credit for getting Denzel Boston. I am so happy with this young man. I think he's going to end up being wide receiver number one. Casey, I agree. Craig, I agree. I think it's only a matter of time before he's wide receiver number one. I think Judy is on notice. Denzel Boston is letting the whole team know I'm a rookie, but I am on the way to the top. Watch out. Your days are numbered. Denzel Boston is a stud. He can do it all. They're trying him on punt returns, which I don't agree with. I never like if you have a top flight weapon to be a punt returner, only because of that's another shot for them to get injured. But they're trying him out at punt returner. That's how good they think this guy is. Denzel Boston is an absolute stud. And I just want to give him the credit that he deserves. The tracker is nonsense. Why is it nonsense? I just want to know why is it nonsense? I'm not saying I agree with the QB tracker one way or the other, but why? I just want to know why you think it's nonsense. Lillian, you're right exactly. So shorts in the red zone for a pro should be 100%. Unless your receiver drops the passes. We don't know about those 3 incompletions. It seems like they're trying to keep Watson uplifted. He does look good. Shedeur got to clean up those pre-snap false start errors. I think Monken hates those more than interceptions. I did see he does have a couple of those pre-snap errors. Judy is wide receiver 4. He put up the 4 fingers, so he knows. Oh, not receiver number 4. Don't do Judy like that. Not receiver number 4. Not number 4. Let me go ahead and end the poll right now. 62% do not agree and 38% agree with Todd Monken's QB1 plan. As far as the QB1 tracker goes, I will say this. I don't know if Lillian answered or not, or if she is answering. I will say this. I don't like it because we're the only team that does it. I don't know another team that does it. It all started when Shedeur came here. I don't remember us doing it before Shedeur came here. Does anybody else remember us doing it before Shedeur came here? If you do, let me know. If you do, let me know. I don't remember before Shedeur got here. Did it just start this QB tracker? It just came out of nowhere. And I don't know any other team that does it. That's the only problem I have with the QB tracker. Like it just came out of nowhere. Did we do it before Shedeur got here? That's the only question I have. I don't remember it. Just when it was Deshaun Watson and Brissett and there was no tracker. I can't remember the other quarterback that everybody loved. I don't. What was the other quarterback? Everybody, Joshua Dobbs. There was no QB tracker. That's the only thing that I don't like about it is because we just start doing it. I don't know anybody else that does the QB tracker. Is there another team that does the QB tracker? They track their quarterbacks and they have their numbers and their stats when they're in shorts, pads. Is there any other team that's doing it? Is Kyler Murray and JJ McCarthy doing it for their QB competition? Did they do it when DTR was there? Joshua Dobbs? Just a question. Just a question. That's the only thing I don't like about the QB tracker. Shedeur pops up, and now there's a QB tracker. Now we're tracking the QBs. Huh. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I'm not saying there's no other team that does it. I just don't know of one. And I'm not saying I know everything. That's far from it. There's a lot I don't know. All right? I'm just asking. Nobody was paying attention to Cleveland before Shedeur. That's not true. That is not true. When Baker Mayfield was here, people paid attention to Cleveland. We had progressive commercials every other minute, and there was Cleveland fans that got sick of it. They were tired of Baker being on commercials, so that is not true. When Baker Mayfield was here, we were on primetime TV getting beat down by the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football, so that is not true. When Baker Mayfield was here, everybody paid attention to Cleveland. If DW gets to start, I'll probably be those pre-snap errors. Monken said Shedeur anxiety with pre-snaps makes him anxious. The Eagles have done it for years. Oh, but they measure different things. Browns only started to try and make Shedeur look bad, but he flipped it on them. Oh, so what does the Eagles tracker do, Craig? Now I'm intrigued. I might have to go follow the Eagles so I can look at their tracker. See, I love finding out things like this. So back to Deshaun Watson, since it was his day today. Is anybody? I know it's a big Shedeur crowd here. Obviously, there are some Deshaun fans though. Was anybody impressed with Deshaun Watson's day today? You said the media was not this crazy. Not the media, no. Now, the Browns media got time today. They hated on Baker Mayfield, too. If you wasn't a Browns fan, Tony Grossi, the way he does Shedeur, he did Baker Mayfield. It was the exact same thing. Tony Grossi treated Shedeur. The way he treats Shedeur, he treated Baker Mayfield. It was carbon copy. It was carbon copy. It's just copy and paste. He has left Baker and he went on to Shedeur. He left Baker and he went on to Shedeur. It was carbon copy. And I don't understand his hatred for quarterbacks that are young and vibrant. It's pro football practice. The tracker is pure foolery. Who? Deshaun. Is anybody impressed with Deshaun's day today? H no. Pure foolery? Pure foolery. All right. That's fair. That is fair. That's fair. Listen, I am going to be fair. Like I said, I'm going to give Deshaun Watson credit where credit is due, regardless if he had pads, regardless if he had shorts on. Well, I hope he had something on, right? Where was that going? I'm going to give credit where credit is due. 7 touchdowns is 7 touchdowns. Because if he didn't have 7 touchdowns, and let's say it was 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, we would be flaming him and we wouldn't say it doesn't matter. So I'm going to give him credit. He had a great day today. So I'm going to give that credit to Deshaun Watson. 17 for 27 touchdowns. Best day in camp. Had some zip on his passes. Bravo to Deshaun Watson. I am a fair person. Bravo, Deshaun Watson. Way to show up and bounce back off a terrible practice day. He arrived in camp, but it doesn't change the fact that Shedeur Sanders has been more consistent, and I will stay with that, but he did arrive today. Now arrive in pads. Football pads. He has one big game once a month. If he does good, then good. My only concern is him getting hurt. He's really fragile the older he gets. I remember that Monday Night Football game against the 49ers. They got both. Listen, yo. That 49er game, man, that was sad. He gets $236 million to throw a short pass across the goal line to a pro receiver. Lillian is on Deshaun's neck. Shout out to AAA with a $10 donation
Here we go.
on his
Money
neck.
Here comes the money.
Choo-choo, let's get the train going so we can have a show tomorrow. Let's keep working, Corey working. About to actually leave AAA. I don't think we're having one tomorrow, but I want to give Lillian credit. Lillian, shout out to you. Your dedication to being on Deshaun's neck is tier 1 work. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the back and forth. I love the talk. I'm just trying to be down the middle with Lillian's like, no, I don't care. The tracker sucks. Deshaun Watson, who cares? Shorts, whoopity-doo, $236 million. You better be able to throw it to wide open people in the end zone from the 10-yard line. I don't care. Yeah, you're supposed to be politically correct. I don't have to. He sucks. Oh, man. But listen, we're going to see what happens tomorrow. Does anybody know if they're in pads tomorrow? Are they in pads for when Shedeur starts tomorrow? Or are they going to be in shorts? I wonder if AI can tell me. Let me ask AI. How good is artificial intelligence? Let's see. Will the Cleveland Browns practice in pads tomorrow for training camp? Let's test AI, chat, before we out of here. Let's test AI. Wow. AI is great. Thursday, tomorrow, return to full pads. Friday, helmet only, making the first non-installation day of camp. Saturday, return to full pads. Coach CJ, AI is on point. So the Shedeur start will be back in pads. What in the tomfoolery is going on? What is going on? The tomfoolery. Shedeur's back in pads. AAA with a $20 donation. Appreciate you, AAA.
Here comes the money.
What is going on?
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Shedeur starting back on pads tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. The fix is in. But you know what? I like it. Because if Shedeur does great tomorrow in pads, that is more ammunition. That is more ammunition for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Shedeur back in pads tomorrow. Friday, helmets only. We'll see what happens. Saturday, back in full pads. AI is undefeated. That's all I got for you. We didn't make the goal. So I'll see you when I see you. I don't know when I'll see you, but I'll be back soon. Don't worry. Don't worry. Wait So DW gets back-to-back no-pad days? Exactly. Back-to-back no-pads day. Ain't that a darn shame? The fix is in, chat. The fix is in. The fix is in, chat. So we'll see what Shedeur does tomorrow. Hopefully he has a great day. And then we got something to talk about. Until next time, it's all love. Peace.